Welcome back, everyone, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. It's another lovely day out on the farm. As I pull up, I take a look around. It's been a few weeks since I've been out. But note the abundance of pigeon on the ground, on the rooftop. As I move closer, they take flight. But they won't fly for long. They never do. Which takes me into the first shot of the day. 30 yards. Here is that shot in the scope cam. This guy catches one to the back, and he's done. You hear the whistling. That's one of the farmers at work, enjoying his day. This shot occurs at 30 yards as well. And here is that shot in the scope cam. He's done. Time to retrieve. Here I have multiple targets in front of me as I go prone. I choose a target, and I take him. I wait for the opportune time to take this guy, as I didn't want any ricochet into the cows feeding in the background. But this guy is done. And here he struggles as death sets in. Here is that shot in the scope cam. Time to collect. I apologize for not recording this scene, but my top mount camera started a hair late. But I did get this shot in the scope cam. It occurred at 45 yards. And this guy is down and done. instantly. Let's see that shot again in slow motion. Watch as the pellet strikes this guy. Center mass, right in the crop. Done. This shot occurs at 35 yards. It's a very interesting shot, as this pigeon takes a shot to the head and sits there and survives it. I have to put a second shot in it to put it down, but in doing so, I change my location so that I'm shooting straight down the roadway and not angling in at the cows that are feeding. So here, I reload. I'm prone, and I scooch over so that I'm shooting straight down the roadway to put a second shot in this guy. But as I said, it's an interesting shot. Watch as I approach this guy after this second shot, and you'll see the damage that was done to the right side of the head. He's done. Before I approach, let's take a look at this shot in the scope cam. This one guy is trying to mate with her, and I squeeze the trigger right as he passes by, striking her in the right side of the head. The pellet strikes her in the right side of the head, taking out the eye, traveling through and out of the bottom of the neck. Now here I am on my approach. Take a close look. Right side of the head, taking out the eye, exiting out the base of the skull. And to think, she was just sitting there, surviving this headshot. This next shot occurs at 40 yards. I spot this guy sitting here along with this cow as I was passing by, and I nail him. And he's done. Here is that shot in the scope cam. This shot occurs at 45 yards. takes a pretty solid hit and takes flight, but he doesn't go far. He goes down in the adjacent pen, and I walk around to ensure that he's down. Here is that shot in the scope cam. I locate that pigeon in the adjacent pen. He's down, but he's not out. The cow walks across in front of my shooting lane, so I adjust over to the right a bit so that I can see him. I get a bead on this guy, and I put a second shot in him. And here we are in the scope cam with a follow-up shot. Done. I spot this pigeon browsing around feeding in the adjacent pen. It's out about 50 yards. I wait for the right time for him to pause, and I take the shot, and it's a good one. Here is that shot in the scope cam. I wait patiently for the pause. Done. Here I spot a pigeon on the top post of the fencing here on the railing. The white wings. 50 yards. And I nail him. Takes flight, but he goes down in the distance, right there, if you saw. And here's that shot in the scope cam. I relocated to try to spot this guy, but couldn't see him as he went down behind the cows in a little ditch, and the dirt was too high for me to spot him, but I'm sure he's done. This is the last shot of the day. This guy is a bit nervous as he's walking around. He sees me standing there, but he pauses after walking nervously, and I take him, and he is done instantly. Here is that shot in the scope cam. Another solid shot to the crop, dropping him instantly. Done. And here is that shot in slow motion. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.